Hello, everyone. I don't usually play the full song, but I was just in a Coldplay mood and I was dancing around my kitchen. So I had to share that energy with you guys. Thank you so much for coming to today's Connect and Chill. I know the time is totally different. So many of you guys were like, what the heck? We do this in the mornings. But so we decided to switch it up. I thought it would still be fun to come hang out on a Saturday night, do something different. I'm always in spaces during the day. So I thought maybe a different crowd. Who knows? But either way, thanks for joining in. The purpose of today's space is really to just check in with each other, right? There has been so much happening, there's so much noise. So we really can check in with each other on everything, mentally, physically, even what you're working on, what you're building. We're halfway through the year. I remember us doing spaces back in January talking about where we saw ourselves. Are you guys there? Maybe you've even surpassed your goals, you have new goals. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to celebrate you. Let's all talk about what we're doing, right? So, as always, this is an open mic space. I'd love for each and every one of you to request the mic, hop up, join the conversation. And remember, this is a safe space as well. Let's be mindful, not just about what we say, how we say it. I like to keep the conversation respectful, let everyone feel comfortable, all that good stuff, all about the good vibes. So I also want to shout out anyone that's listening to the recording. Yes, this is a recorded space. I'd like to remind you guys, especially since we're doing this in the evening. Thank you to everyone that takes time out of their day to listen to the recordings of this space or any space that I'm a part of. I appreciate that. And also special shout out to Audacity. This space will be shown in the metaverse on their platform. So we appreciate you guys as well. Now, before we dive in, let me remind you to go down to the bottom right corner, like, share the space. You know the deal. Comments are welcome. Tell your friends we're hanging out and this is the place to be on Saturday night. And of course, if you're unable to hop on the mic, drop your comments. I'll pay attention, try to include you in the conversation as much as I can. Now, let's get started. I'm going to hand the mic over to my amazing co host, Benjamin. How are you?
I am doing great, Liz. Thanks so much for hosting, and thanks so much for everyone for being here. This is going to be a great conversation. We are halfway through the year, so this is going to be a perfect time for us to check in with one another, as Liz has stated. So super appreciative of everyone who either comes up to speak, listens to the recording, because your support means so much to Liz and myself, and we truly couldn't do this without you all. So can't wait to hear everyone's contributions. Yeah. I'll try to make this as quick as possible, Liz. I think you know a lot more about this year and how it's kind of been for me than probably a lot of others. So, just a quick recap. This year, especially the beginning part of 2024 was pretty difficult. I was going through a lot. I was transitioning somewhat to not necessarily a new career, but transferring to a different department, transferring to a different firm. I was balancing the decision as to whether do I want to remain on my previous job or do I move on. And so that was really difficult decision to make because I had to take into consideration my family. I had to take into consideration everything that I was going through. So I think the very beginning of this year was really difficult. I think I'm at a point in my life now, around the midpoint where I'm a lot happier. I think I finally found peace and satisfaction in my decision. And Liz, I think I mentioned this to you. A lot of this year um, I was struggling with IRL and I was struggling with social media in general. Like I needed to take a break, and there were several weeks where I probably took weekends off. I wasn't really as active, and that did a tremendous amount of support or, of that really helped my mindset because I needed to really prioritize IRL. And so I think this year, as much as the early part of it wasn't as great, I think now it's a lot more. Um, I'm happier now than I've ever been, and I think it's the decisions I made, and it's the knowing that everything I've done. As much as I try to help others, and as much as I want to be supportive of everyone, I also have to keep into consideration my own needs as well. So I can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts, folks. We do have some sponsors for the space. Liz has done such an amazing job with Connect and Chill that we have some phenomenal sponsors for the space. Our first official sponsor of um, of the space is by Costco. Once again, Costco is the newest sponsor of Connect and Chill, so we super appreciate Costco for sponsoring this space. Let me remind you that Costco has been selling their hot dogs at $1.50 since 1985. So we appreciate Costco and their hot dogs for sponsoring the space. We're also brought to you by Chevron. So Chevron, thanks so much for sponsoring us. We're sponsored by JetBlue, as JetBlue is the official carrier for when Liz comes to Southern California. So we appreciate JetBlue for sponsoring Liz's trip in 2025. With that being said, I would love to hear everyone's thoughts. Liz, thanks again for hosting. And with that being said, handing the mic back to you, friend.
Okay, awesome. I love Costco. I don't know about you guys. I'm just going to be straight up. I enjoy the whole experience of Costco. I love the environment, and I'm a big Costco fan. I think it's the superior of those stores. Sorry, BJ's. Sorry, Sam's Club. But thank you for opening up and being honest, right? I think it was a tough first half of the year for a lot of people, but thankfully, I see a lot of us in our growth era right now, just like thriving, living, and on to that next chapter. So I'm really excited for all of us to keep on this positive trend, right? Sometimes you have to go through that difficult, dirty, hard part of life to kind of come out on top like this. And I love to see it. So I'm really happy for you, Benjamin. And this new job is going to be it because you're already on vacations all the time. You're like all over the place. So I want this job, right? Such a good time. But before we get to the rest of the speaker panel, I just want to shout out some of the legends in the listening lounge because it's nice to see you guys. And I appreciate everyone pulling up a little later on the Saturday schedule, right? We have Margie, Villa Model, Brittany, MV, so great to have you. Brazzy, Kat, Dee Dee, ooh, a rabbit in the space, Wealthy, Grace, and then an amazing panel. I'd love for all of you to share, and of course, only share what you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be deep. We can keep it on, what you're working on. Whatever you'd like to share is always a good time. Ooh, and Empress joined us on the panel. A legend has walked in the building. X is a little laggy, so sometimes you see people as speakers and then they're listeners. I don't even know, it's backwards. But we'll continue on the panel. Next, I'm going to hand the mic over to Creative because we were just talking about a new project for you to start cooking up. How are you doing?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. You already putting it in the atmosphere. I hear you. I hear you. That's what's up. That's what's up. What's going on, L, Ben, man, everybody down there in the listeners section and stuff, other speakers as well. I want to say, well, I'm not, I would say my year at the midway point is gonna go from. I want to say like the first half of the year, yeah, it was pretty positive. I never really say things are too high or too low. I try to keep even keel on stuff, but um, going into the second half of this year is going to be a season of resilience with everything that's going on as far as just with just our country in general. You know what I mean? And certain things as far as things that could be implemented, things that could not be implemented. There's things I got to prepare for and be resilient about when it comes to me, my household, things of that nature. So I always like to, I've learned I learned a lesson a long time ago that most of us as human beings are reactive and not proactive. So I try to be as proactive as possible and try to prepare as possible for the good, bad, ugly, and all that other stuff. Um, First part of the year, joined the X maybe like the latter part of last year. So, coming into this new year, I was getting my feet settled and stuff like that. Found a nice little circle of people, man, and then around the last month or so, just had to really distance myself from that group, man, and kind of just move in another direction, man. My growth, and it doesn't always necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's just sometimes you just have different journeys, you know what I mean? So, sometimes you just got to go separate ways. There are like maybe like one or two people that I still associate with from that circle, but Ben's one of them. What's up? Ben's always going to be the OG, always going to be family. And then Miss Stephanie is the other one, but everybody else I kind of just had to just split off from, which, like I said, it's not like I have any ill will or any bad feelings towards anybody. It's just that's how life goes sometimes. You just grow in different directions. Um, getting into the AI space and getting into the AI art stuff, that has been phenomenal for me. I've made a lot of different connections with people. I've had the opportunity to talk to a lot of great people. If it wasn't for AI and AI art and stuff, I probably wouldn't even be on X because I don't really do social media like that. So, I'm a real life person, so I like living life. You know what I mean? So sometimes I see how social media can kind of take you away from real life, and then you find it hard to balance the two, right? But I'm glad that I am on X because I meet people like L, meet people like Ben, meet people like Miss Harley down there, Miss Margie down there. So I meet some good people, man. I was able to start with my cousin. I was able to start Tough Talks. And some of you guys come to that as well, which is cool because it's really been growing. It's really been helping a lot of people, man. And it's not even about the numbers, man, but it's just good to see people get genuine help on everyday issues, right? Like a lot of times we come on X and we see a lot of these big polarizing spaces, but to have that one space where you could just come in and just whatever you were going through that day, whatever you was dealing with that week, get that help, you know what I mean, or just get it off your chest, man. Maybe not even nobody's in there that can really like help you have the expertise, but just being able to have a safe space where you can just get that stress off your chest, because they say pressure busts pipes. So I'm looking forward to the second half of the year. I'm looking forward. There's a lot of great things that's going on with Tough Talks. Kim has joined the team, so if you guys don't know Kim, dear Kimberly K, she's joined the squad. So man, she's brought a whole new dynamic to Tough Talks. Her expertise has definitely helped out a lot as far as like how to do the social media thing, how to do the spaces and stuff like that. So, the family is growing, man. We building family, we growing family, we bigger than just the community stuff. We actually trying to build a family. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to me and Elle's project that she talking about. You know what I mean? That she putting out in the atmosphere. Speak things that aren't as though they are. So she has a lot of expertise when it comes into certain lanes. I would say I'm not gonna say too much because then I start giving stuff away. But I'm looking forward to our me and her putting our minds together and presenting this project to everybody, man. Hopefully in the near future, in the next couple of months or so, so we can put something together and it's gonna be a lot of fun, original things of that nature. So I'm looking forward to the second half of this year. Even though I know it's gonna be a season of resilience, a season of testing. Um, but sometimes you gotta go through tough times. You gotta go through hard stuff. You gotta go through certain things, man, to grow. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And back to you, El.
Oh my God, I love that. You said so much. And yeah, I'm that person that when I see my friend has a skill and I have an idea for them, I'm like, yo, you got to get on this. You got to do it. I know you have the skill set. And creative is so good at AI art. It's just in the early stages now, but I know there's a lot in the second half of the year that he's going to be grinding. He doesn't know it yet, but it's going to happen. We're going to be talking. So I'm super excited. There was another great thing that you said about being reactive instead of proactive. I think that is so good. That's something I've also worked on. And even just like responding versus reacting, that's another thing that I called myself out on. I think I used to react a lot more than I do now. Now I'm just like, all right, it's all good. It's chill. You're not going to get a reaction out of me, buddy. You know what I mean? But that takes work. Like it sounds so simple, but it's not easy. And it's not easy to win that battle 100% of the time. Got to be honest. So thank you for being honest about what you're going through. It's always a pleasure to have you in the space. Your community is definitely growing. Creative does spaces on Tuesday and Thursday night. I know it's very late for the East Coast, but still show up. He does them either 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. EST, kind of changes depending on daddy duties and all that stuff, but they are awesome spaces. Definitely want to check it out. It's another safe space to just be real and say what's going on, right? Those are not common here, so I would recommend it 100%. But before we go on to the next speaker, I'll hand it to the co-host. Benjamin, what's up with you? Anything you want to share?
Yeah. Les, we do have one more quick sponsor. They reached out to me about 15 minutes ago. Red Bull is now a proud sponsor of the space. I know it's late. If you're on the East Coast, it's 9 p.m. It's Saturday night. And if you're not in the mood for alcohol and you need something to wake you up for the space, Red Bull is your go-to beverage. Red Bull gives you wings is the newest sponsor for the space. Back to you, Elle.
Oh my God, the other day I had a Red Bull for the first time in a minute, and it was actually really good. I don't know, it was like blueberry or something, the blue can guys. Not that I should be promoting energy drinks, but it happens sometimes. You're at Target, in the checkout, and you're looking for something really quick because the Starbucks line is too long. So I grabbed the Red Bull, and I don't regret it. But anyway, we'll go on to the next speaker here.
Yo, I
Harley,
wanted to
so good to
check if
see
my
you.
mic is on.
Oh,
Can anyone hear me?
yeah, T, you're
Yep,
live. Why
you're
don't
good
you
to
go
go.
Yo,
next?
L, something just happened right now. Now let me explain, right? I was in okay, I'm currently in another space, and then I hopped in this space with my PC, and I just automatically had the speaker roll without even requesting. Like I appeared, like I bumped in, like like a ninja. I sneaked in. Come on. I mean, this is the second time it's happened. I thought it was a glitch the other time, but yo, I think I've got superhero powers in on X. I mean, it's extraordinary. Come on, come on, come on. Let's fucking go, guys.
What an entrance, T. But now that you've interrupted, you have to go next and do your mid-year check-in. How are you doing? What's going on with you? I know your internet seems to be doing great because before you couldn't get in one space, now you're in five. What's up?
Yo, I'm multitasking right now, and of course, L is hosting a space, and I have to be there no matter what. And of course, there's electricity, so I'm like happy, and oh, it's connect and chill. Come on, trust me, tonight I'm chill. I'm just super cool. My head is calm, and I'm just like I mean, enjoying tonight's vibe. It's actually 2 a.m. I don't know what I'm working out for right now because I'm currently chill. And I mean, it's just all, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just all calm, right? So, yeah, toggling between spaces, dropping one or two alphas, and, what, just, Web3 generally. So, yeah, it's all good.
Dude, I love it. I could literally hear the smile on your face right now. Speaking of living your best life, you are definitely doing it. You got the internet, the electricity, the vibes are high, my friend. I am so happy. You've been doing really great this year, killing it in all forms of social media and just life. So I'm super bullish on what the second half of the year is going to be like for you because it's crazy. Like I said in my other space, I have to like book you. I think I'm going to have to message you a week in advance and say like, hey T, can you show up to my space? You got so many people in your DMs. I DM'd you last night. I don't even think I got a response yet about that rabbit because you hopped in the space and literally helped me blow it up. So make sure you hit me back if you want to hop into the rabbit hole. We're going to make that happen. So thank you again for showing up, multitasking, and whatever alpha you share in that other space, make sure you share it in my DMs too so I know what's happening. All right. So next, we're going to go over to Miss Harley. What's happening with you, girl?
Hey, yeah, I was about to rest, but I saw the space went live. Thank you so much for having me here. And was just gonna say to Fiona that Fiona is a settings of spaces wherein people can come in right away as speaker. So yeah, hate to tell you that it's not a superpower, but we both have the superpower today. Anyway, yes, thank you so much again. And of course, what I've been building, what I've been cooking a lot. And yeah, it's overwhelming actually because it's when you are about to be there. You feel that it's you are doing it, and there's a lot of necessary other things to do. I know there's a lot of decision making and you know a lot of tricky decisions you have to make. But yeah, I'm thankful of the people that's around me right now. That's giving me the kind of like the things that I need to learn. L just you remember that L when we were on the space and we had like a conversation about the winner's mindset and things like that. It's all about um, admitting to yourself that it's not gonna be always you. Sometimes you need others as well, others help, and yeah, it's like having the team admitting that you can do it yourself and just acknowledge it as well what the others can contribute and including them to what you're building. And yeah, that's what I did, and we're doing it. It's I started it. We're getting there. I can say that we're getting there. Where the the hardest part is the to start it, or just you know sometimes we overthink of planning things like that. And I hate it because when I start to plan some things that I that I want to do, it just become not interesting anymore for me. Or I see a lot of things that that might make me not pursue it anyway. So I wasted lots of good ideas already, but this time, nope, I did not. So this is the NFT, or this is the first ever Twitter Space NFT ever minted on the blockchain, like the recording itself. And that NFT actually is you know special as well. The recording is one of the most special session, or uh, one of the most special days of the web reality spaces and live stream. And yes, we are also already on Drip House, so it's awesome because and I just got a call yesterday from one of the uh, one of the partners, or like offering partnership, and it's awesome. It's overwhelming because it's like you're getting there. It's like, and I used to be just a small, just a community manager who go to projects to deal with partnership and things like that. But now it's awesome. And that that NFT, the Web reality NFT spaces, the people who minted that can be, if they want to be on the Web3 reality stars, they will be. And I have already the two of the guys are three, yeah, three guys there too. And I have already, have did some stuff for their profile to, just their some help for their stuff that they're doing. And it's a web reality star. So yeah, um, still building it. And I hope that this will be a great addition to what we have on Web3. Or I'm not here to change anything or something. I'm just here to I think what I want to do is entertainment on the Web3 space, so that it's not gonna be meme coin entertainment anymore. Kidding, but yeah, I wish to have more entertainment here in Web3, so that we can enjoy in safe space and support system. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope to again, uh, you know, have you on other spaces, talk to you on other spaces, because that's what we need to do. Talk more and yeah, be with each other. Thank you so much, Elle.
Absolutely, Harley. Thank you so much for sharing. I am so excited for you and everything that's coming together. You're one of the hardest working people in Web3. Guys, if you don't know Harley, I'm sure you've seen her or seen a space she's in, because morning to night, you wouldn't even know what time zone she's in, because she's probably still online. I don't know if she sleeps, or maybe she sleeps when she's in the listening lounge of a space, but she's always working on something. She's an awesome, really positive person. So I'm glad to hear that things are going well for you and that your hard work is paying off. And I know we have some stuff cooking too that we're going to be doing. So I'm really excited to see where we're at later this summer. All good vibes. And I hope you shared that up top. Yes, it's in the Jumbotron. Guys, everyone up here on the speaker panel, you're more than welcome to share what you're cooking, what you're working on. Of course, positive stuff, right? Nothing negative up there, but I'm sure you guys don't have any negative projects, because I don't really hang around with negative Nancy's on here. So far, so good. And Benjamin, I saw you just shared something. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, in the spirit of positivity, I think this is so true. And I've said this since I would say the early part of this year. This is by Roy T. Bennett, and he says, be the reason someone smiles, be the reason someone feels love, and believe in the goodness of people. And I think that is so so true. We live in a world where a lot is really going on. And not everyone is necessarily super kind to one another. So I think we can do a better job of, just reaching out, just spreading more kindness in the world. That's one of my biggest reasons of being on X, is to spread kindness and positivity. That's why I have my account. Um, uh, so this definitely resonates so true with me, and I hope it does with you all too. Just be really mindful. Just do everything you can to just spread a little bit more joy in each other's lives. Just be kind to one another. That's all I ask of you. Um, Al, we do have some couple of new sponsors for the space, because you're such an amazing friend, and we certainly had to do this for you, my friend. This space is now partly inspired by Keenan and Kel, where Kel just absolutely loves his orange soda. So you know where we're going with this. Here we go, friends. Who loves to connect and chill? Mid-year checking. How are you really doing? We all love to connect and chill. Mid-year checking. How are you really doing? Is that true? We do, we do, we do, we do, we do, we do, we do. Ew! And this is really inspired by the 3 margaritas that I will be having in about the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. So you are welcome for that. We're also brought to you by State Farm, as Liz is always known on these platforms. Um, like a good neighbor, Liz is always there, as well as Allstate. Are you in good hands? Nationwide is on your side. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on Liz's insurance. So we super appreciate everyone for being here. With that being said, uh, Liz, handing this back to you.
That was so good. And 3 margaritas in 15 minutes. Okay, wow, we're going to see where you're at in the next check in with our sponsors, because I don't know if it's going to get better, faster, or what, but I'm here for it. So I just want to give a quick shout out to a few of the legends that walked in. Keandre, you made it. Nice to see you here. Always a pleasure having you in my spaces. We also have legend Dan Ryan Neff in the building. Thanks for stopping in. He runs Coco Spaces on Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. EST. Always a good time. I mean, I've been there with those spaces since he started back in the fall, and now they're huge. Really great. So we also have King Vita, and Kev, thank you for joining. Tony, welcome. Steve, bunch of legends. MV, I hope you enjoy your sushi. I'm going to get sushi soon. Looking forward to it. It's been a minute. But with that, we'll go back to the speaker panel, and we have DJ Dev, who just picked up a Kurabu. Welcome to the club. How's it going?
Jam. Um, it's 2 a.m. right here, 2:30 a.m. and I'm working on a lot of things actually, right? I'm always working on stuffs. That's one big problem I have, right? Might be a blessing, might be a curse because I don't really get much of sleep. But my mid-year check-in, my mid-year review, it's kind of mixed feelings, right? Earlier this year, up until March, up until after my birthday, things were going well. I was bagging jobs here and there, um, getting funds and all that. And, I still do teaching by the side, and I was making profits too. It was a good year so far until just one bad trade. There's this network issues we do have in here in Nigeria. There was one time the um an underwater cable got damaged, so the network was really messy, right? So got in the trade, network went bad, and I just said, let me just get a nap, right? Came back and minus 98 PNL, lost all, like went back to literal zero. So I had to take a step. I had to take a step back and just I still drop lists for people in my group, but I'm still trying to take a step back and strategize on how I'm going to get back on my feet. So right now I'm working on personal growth, right? I came back to Twitter just to link up with a couple of my friends. Siona was part of the people that brought me back to X, right? So, and since I've been back, it's been great, right? I was at 2,300 followers when I came back and in the space of 7 days, I'm at 2,800 now, and I met a lot of amazing people, and a whole lot of other people I've connected with during this space of 7 days, right? And I'm looking to do more on everything. Like I said, I've been focusing more on personal growth. I don't do DJing right now. I'm just dropping plays for my community. So um I just want to grow personally to a certain point where you know I provide value to people that are even trying, right? So that's the point that I'm aiming for. And I've been planning a lot of things alongside you now. We've been planning to launch a project on Ton, and I've been planning some personal stuff with you that deals with educating people that are in the Web3 space, and I just pinned it up in the jumbotron, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to a better year, to a better half of the year, to grow and just improve myself. Like I feel like personal growth is one of the best things that you can do to yourself. So that's pretty much it. Um, I don't want to spiral. I don't want to go down this spiral habit of mine. I'll just keep talking and talking and talking. So I'm just going to leave it there.
All right, awesome. I'm so glad we've connected recently because you are definitely a builder. And like you said, you're always working. I can see it. You shared your analytics. I was like, whoa, that was a great week that you had. You're really killing it. And now we're sharing different communities together. So I'm really excited for all of that. And part of the reason I wanted to do this space is because when you talk about what you're doing, what you're building, and you say it out loud with your friends, like we're doing here, it really does hold you accountable because I'm going to check in on you guys like, hey, how's, this going? And I hope you do the same for me, right? If I say I'm building something, a couple weeks from now, say, hey, how's it going? Are you actually doing it? Do you need help? I'm always here to support you guys. You guys know that my DMs are always open because that's what we're here to do. If you're just focused on yourself, you're not someone that I really want to be around. And you shouldn't surround yourself with those types of people either because we really grow when we build our own communities, join other communities, try different things. That's what this is all about. That's how this space has grown. And you guys teach me something new every week. So I really value each and every one of you for being here, for sharing, and we will continue with the speakers. Victor, I believe your hand was next, and then we'll go to DM Bricks and Keandre.
Sorry. Quick question before Victor goes. This question is for L and Siona. Like the is it Kubaru the NFT that I got? I just got in because I saw L says about it, and it looks like I snagged a pretty cool one. Siona, what do you think? Should I have a change of PFP? Should I change my PFP? Should I rebrand? What do you think, Siona? And L, too, you can pop in something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was honored that I shared that collection and you picked one up right away. That was really nice. It's a great collection, nice founder. They are actually rebranding right now and rebuilding the team. So they're having a rebrand space announcing the new team members next Thursday, 4 p.m. EST, actually. I'd love for you to be there. I know I'm going to bring my questions, but I thought it was slick. It was really, really nice NFT. And, it's a great price point, too. It's not like, had to spend your whole bag. So good job. I don't know if T saw it. I think he's also co hosting at least 4 other spaces because he cannot be stopped.
Yeah, no problem. I'll just change my PFP, and it looks cooler than this one that I'm currently using. This one is on Save Blockchain, but yeah, I'll just change it to this one. This one looks sleeker. So yeah, I guess I'll be losing my blue tick for a few days, but that's cool. It's all good.
Right. It's worth it. If it's more you, if you think it's smoother, then you lose the blue check and you'll get it back. I know the struggle. I recently changed my profile picture to an upgrade that I got from Creative, who's here on the speaker panel, and I lost my blue tick. He actually still saw it. He's like, yo, how'd you do that? Did you hack the system? Are you friends with Elon? And I'm like, no. And then it disappeared. But it's worth it. I love my new profile picture. This is like a sneak peek, a one of one, if you will. But with that, let's go back to the hands. Victor, what's happening? Good to have you here.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening today? GMGML. I see you, Haley. I see you, Benjamin. What's happening? How are you guys doing, man? I was so pumped when I saw that. Hey, let's connect. Because actually, yesterday I actually saw you did something like this yesterday, but I was unable to join due to some issues that I was actually working on. Right. So I'm done. Haley, are you logging? Because I'm seeing connecting in your site. Right. I didn't want to say, hey, I'll be here on the space or something, giving in promises I might not fulfill. So just said, okay, let's see how it's gonna be. I'm here to connect, and the first quarter of the year have been rough and stuff, but we keep on building and connecting with new people, new family, new friends, to build more in the space. And I'll love to, when Benjamin was talking, I was so curious, and I want to ask him a question, right? Benjamin, are you actually building are you building a product in the space, or you are actually working in the web 2 space and also in the web 3? How are you doing it, Benjamin?
Oh, well, he did say he was going to be having 3 margaritas. So he probably can't unmute because the blender is on and he's mixing up his drinks. So once he gets back, I can let him talk more about that. But no, he's mainly in the Web 2 sector. He's an accountant, so he's not really into Web 3 just yet. But I keep dragging him around to all my Web 3 communities, and eventually he's going to have a wallet with an NFT. We just have to see which project will be the first lucky one to bring Benjamin to the dark side or the light side, whatever you want to call it. But what about you, Victor? What are you working on? I know you are bullish on Tiger Coin. We were talking about that. Is there anything else that you are doing or buying?
Okay. For now, I haven't compiled the list. I'm literally trading, working, providing, giving up my 2 cents for projects, actually advising projects and helping them to grow in the sector. Provide some value to the project and stuff. For now, I haven't started building anything for now. I'm actually connecting with people, valuable people in the space, and yeah, so that's the main thing I'm building on. Like I'm heavily building on right now. So I want to connect with people, know what they're actually doing, connect with projects, know founders and stuff like that, so that I'll have that connection. Yeah, hey, I know you, and I've spoken with you on spaces and stuff. I don't like, hey, let's chat. No, no, no. I just like, hey, let's connect, let's talk. That's why I'm so bullish on Tiger Coin. I was yesterday we spoke with the dev and stuff. Yeah, I saw his courage answering my questions and stuff, so I felt like, hey, this guy is here to stay, and he's going to do a lot of great things in the space. Yeah, but I haven't actually gone to talk to him privately yet, but I will still be watching on what he's building. And yeah. So is there any founder or stuff here that we can actually connect on? Tell us what you're building on. Let's know, and connect together before Benji comes in.
Right. I don't know how long it's going to take him for the margaritas, but whenever he gets back, I'll shoot him a text and tell him to. Oh, there you go. I see a heart. He's here. Is the blender done? You good?
Sorry, I had to step away. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good. Welcome back.
Yeah. I Liz, can you can you replay the conversation real quick?
Yeah, no problem. So I was telling everyone that you were busy with the blender making margaritas, which is why you couldn't answer Victor's question. He was asking what you were building, if you were building a project in Web3 or Web2 or a product, what you're working on right now.
Yeah, Victor, that's a great question. I think the project that I'm going to go back into, and I don't know if you really want to call this a project, but Liz knows more about this. September, uh, um, I was going to go back to continue spaces. We're going to continue doing the CLE ones because I think, well, and I said this to Liz, I needed this summer off to refresh and reset. So um, the overall plan for Web3 is for me to continue doing the spaces again. Sometime in September, I haven't really figured out the dates, but I will let everyone know. And the whole point of CLE, it's choosing love every day. And the overall goal is to spread kindness, spread positivity, and give everyone, a voice in the space. Very similar to how Liz runs her spaces with Connect and Chill. Mine is really, really similar. So we're looking forward to returning to doing spaces again. So Victor, thanks so much for the questions. And Les, I was in the middle of making margaritas, so I made a glass for you, and I made a glass for everyone in the space. So it took me quite some time to get back. Also, had to stop by and pick up In and Out at some point for you, my friend. So we had a very busy evening. So I think the margaritas will be kicking in soon. So the sponsorships may be a little bit wacky as kind of the night goes on, but really enjoying the conversation. Liz has also informed me that March of 2025, we are intending on doing a 170-hour space nonstop. So we're really looking forward to doing that. So tune in. We haven't really finalized the date, but it will be 170 hours nonstop. So that's probably going to be a mixture of a lot of 5-hour energies, a lot of monsters, Red Bulls, probably some alcohol involved to keep us going for that period of time. So we're really looking forward to everyone joining that amazing space. Really looking forward to the conversations. Handing this back to you, Elle.
All right, awesome. You did mention beverages, so I just want to do a hydration check. We've been here for almost an hour, whether you're drinking, water, coffee, tea, or margarita like Benjamin and myself, make sure that you take a sip and stay hydrated. So, Victor, I know you had your hand up. Did you want to respond? I'll give you back the mic.
Yeah. I actually want to ask, Benjamin a question. Before he actually started talking about things, he actually said, this space is actually sponsored by some, group of guys and stuff. So I want to actually know more. Are they actually in the Web3 space, or it's just, hey, you're just calling the names or stuff? You can actually tell us more about that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not real. So here's the thing. I'm not really a part of Web3. So what I mean is the reason why I have this platform, right? The reason why I'm on X, it's really more to spread kindness and positivity. So that's really my main goal. So I don't necessarily consider kind of my platform a part of Web3 in a sense that I'm not trying to push anything on anybody. Like I always want people to come in freely. I always want people to have a voice. Um, and so I don't try to push an agenda on anyone. So that's what I do here. So it's not like I'm trying to get you to, you know, um, do anything in particular. I just want you to have a open and free or an open an open platform for you to come in and share what's on your mind. So I don't ask for anything in particular. It's why I don't push anything on anyone. It's if you want to come in, you're more than welcome to. So that's what I do. Um, that's kind of everything I do with social media in general. I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for endorsements or anything of that nature. So it's really more so for everyone to have a space to come in and chill. So that's kind of what I do. So I appreciate you asking, Victor. Les, we do have a couple of new sponsors for the space, which is absolutely amazing because we're not even an hour into the space and we have so many amazing sponsors. So our next official sponsor for this space is by Only Hands. Once again, Only Hands is the newest sponsor for this space, so we appreciate your love and support for Liz's space. As Liz has stated, we are brought to you by so many alcoholic beverages. So whether you're consuming tequila, whiskey, margaritas, you are always more than welcome to consume it in the space. Just consume it responsibly. Remember, don't drink and drive. That's the worst thing you can ever do. It's best that if you're make sure you're not going anywhere the rest of tonight. If you're really going to drink, we highly recommend that you don't go behind the wheel if you're going to drink at all. That's a no-no. And then let's um okay, this margarita really is starting to kick in. Okay, so yeah, handing this back to you.
All right, awesome. Well said. Yeah, everyone, be safe. And also keep in mind, I know I do a lot of different spaces. I want to let you know that it is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Some people see me do a space and instantly think that I am endorsing the project. That's not necessarily the case. If I'm bullish on something, you'll know. You will see me post them. You guys know how I am. But just because I'm doing, a project spotlight or maybe interviewing a token doesn't necessarily mean that I'm recommending that you purchase that or, go bullish on that. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I'm completely transparent on what projects I'm in on and what projects I'm not. Just want to clarify. So with that, let's go to Keandre. I think his hand's getting heavy. Good to see you. It has been a minute. I'm so excited to hear your mid-year check-in.
Well, I'm glad that you're excited about it because I'm glad to semi-reveal it, I guess. But anyway, though, first and foremost, most importantly, I'm still alive, so there's that. We'll start with that right there, right? But it is nice to get to your connect and chill, good little space, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm doing it at 8 o'clock today," and I'm like, "Yes," because I just put some stuff on the grill. I'm gonna have to step away for a second to record my video and upload it as I do every Saturday. For those who don't know, I am a grilling aficionado, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, well, I'm not the best at it, but I like doing it. And my girlfriend enjoys it. So there's no complaint there. But as far as the check-in, I had just learned recently how to use CapCut, and I've been doing that in my morning videos. Now it takes a little bit more time, and I have to like play with it a little bit, but I think that I'm getting better at it. So there's that as far as writing and stuff like that. I think I'm getting better at that a little bit too. I got my first payout, woohoo, whatever. It was more than what I expected. I wasn't expecting the shit actually, but you know, $40, I could use that more than enough. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, I don't know if that's gonna be the same thing next time around, but it is what it is. But as far as spaces going, I plan to start up my spaces again. Season 2 of What You Got For Me is coming as soon as I get settled in my new place. I'm currently waiting on another place, so there's that. But again, shout out to everybody in here. I hope everybody's doing well. We're obviously all alive because we're in here, but at the same time, hey, if you're having a hard time, just know it's gonna be okay. Every day you wake up, even if the time is just as hard as yesterday, you woke up to see it because a lot of us do not make it past that each and every day. And I'm gonna leave it at that until the next time I speak. But appreciate it letting me do that.
That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, and then the videos too, because I've seen them. You grilling, I'm like, man, it makes me hungry. But if you're happy, you like it, and your girlfriend's happy, most importantly, it sounds like a perfect Saturday night to me. So I'm glad you can take out some time here. And $40 is $40. So we'll check back in. I bet in a few months you're going to be like, yo, you won't believe how much I made. Or at least I'm going to manifest that for you because you deserve it. And then that'll mean more steaks. And I don't know what you're drinking, but maybe a couple drinks on the side. That sounds good to me. And with that, Benjamin, it's all yours.
I just was thinking about as we talk about check-in. I think this is a great reminder for everyone. You know, do everything you can to check in on your loved ones frequently. Family, friends. Whether that's a text, a call, or if you can even visit, that's perfect. You know, and this is kind of heavier on me lately. It's you just kind of never know, right? So you always want to be a part of each other's lives. So just a quick text to your family, to your friends. I'm gonna give an example. Someone close to me. I was thinking about this. I haven't heard from her in a while, and I texted her the other day, and she was going through a lot, and she said it means so much that you took some time to check in because you know um, there was a lot on her plate, and that's it's just the little things you can do for one another. So I encourage you all to call, check, or call, text, visit, right? Do everything you can because you just never know. So if you're not hearing from your loved ones, your family, your friends in a while, just be a little bit more mindful. Just do everything you can to send us a quick text, or a quick call, or even a visit, that'd be absolutely perfect. Liz, we do have another quick sponsor for your space. I know it's closer to 10 o'clock for you, so In and Out is still open. So if you would like to visit or to stop by In and Out, we can definitely send you some In and Out products your way. It'll arrive to you by tomorrow. So if you would like some In and Out, just let me know. With that being said, I would love to hear more from our fellow speakers.
All right, that was awesome. I completely agree. Check in on your friends. Shoot a text if you don't want to call. Send them a DM. Say hello. I'm always doing that. And Benjamin really does. He does that for me too. He's like, hey, you good? So definitely check in on your friends. I love that. And next up, we have the Empress. Welcome.
Yo, GMO. Can you hear me?
I can. It's a little muffled. You sound a little low.
Okay. GMGM. Tiona, shout out to you. The Jane, Creative Madness. Wow, that's massive. So it's been a very, very good opportunity to be here today, although I've been hopping on all spaces with Tiona, and all the spaces are always very, very insightful and educative. So yeah, about the header, connect and chill media. Yeah, for me, my media is going very, very well. At least I'm not where I was before, and I feel this is this is a good thing. Yeah, it's a good omen, and I know I'm positive about it. Yeah, when the space started, what Benjamin or Creative were talking about, yeah, at some point it's good to take a break off social media. Yeah, because I tried it too, and it definitely worked for me. I took a break off social media. That was early this year, and I just was on WhatsApp with my family, friends, and school friends. So, and after some time, I got onboarded on the Web3 space, and I noticed that the Web3 space is kind of a bit different. Yeah, it's a bit different. People are ready to connect, to give you all values, to make you as they want to see you progress on the space you get. And for that, it means a whole lot to me. So I'm going to shout out to Tiona on this one too. So I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. It's a privilege. So I'm gaining insight, and I'm also learning from other people's experience, so that now you don't definitely you learn from your experience, you learn from other people's experience, so that when you face that situation, you'll be like, oh yeah, I heard somebody talk about this situation, and you can navigate it without falling um getting something, as in falling into negative things. So thank you very much, El. Let's fucking go.
All right. I love that. That was so positive. I'm happy that you're saying you are happy and your Web3 experience is going well. That is awesome. I know a lot of people in the Ton community really just want to see everyone win, which is nice. It's refreshing. It really reminds me of how Doge was. Still there a little bit, but that excitement, the spaces are full, everyone's shouting, playing music. It's a good time. So I'm glad that you're having a great experience. And Tiona is an awesome person to guide you. He's one of my best friends here in Web3, and eventually he's going to make it to America. We're going to hang out, go out for dinner. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome to any one of my spaces. I just dropped you a follow, and keep updating us, right? Keep coming to the spaces and let us know what you're building, what you're growing as you learn and connect with different people. So on that note, I will hand the mic to Om. Welcome to the space.
Yeah, thank you. Much appreciate the spirit of collaboration here, right? Yeah, I ventured into the space with a couple of, I guess, usual suspects like Dan, Ryan, Neff, among others. I guess some of you friends, some of you strangers who will become friends, but. To your point, Lisette, around pure or mutual accountability. Yeah, there is one thing that I think all the Nobel Prizes in behavioral science teach us consistently. That peer collaboration is the key to bringing out the best in all of us. Going back to to game theory and what I guess John Nash talked about. What is the best thing for the world is when people act in ways that are best for them and also best for the group. So that's that's really awesome. Just by way of a little bit of intro, and I'll keep this as brief as possible. I've spent a couple of decades in financial technology back before Web 3 or even Web 2 became real things. And so, as some of you might know, our present project and platform is called Save Away, that you can check out in my profile, etc. You don't certainly have to, but we're actually in the midst of going from soft launch to a public launch with more to come out in upcoming weeks and months. I can go into answer any questions about that. Also, to the point around groups, me and a couple of my kindred spirited friends host a monthly forum on humanizing commerce and fintech. The next one is planned for the first Sunday of August. So folks are welcome to keep a lookout on that. And I think I think in terms of the mid-year check-in here, I think our momentum couldn't be stronger. As I mentioned, we are looking at more publicly making the Save Away platform available, which in a nutshell allows people to make their unaffordable purchases more affordable without credit debt regret by being able to save up in multiple ways. That's it in a nutshell. I'll just pause there, and certainly happy to answer any questions or reactions folks might have.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. I was trying to figure out where you looked familiar from, and then once you said Dan, I'm like, oh yes, I've seen him in Coco. I think you've been on that speaker panel quite a few times, so it makes sense. It's nice to connect with you and actually hear about you and what you're building. Seems like you're having a really positive year, grinding. Love to see it. I'm going to follow along so I can watch that journey as we continue into the second half of the year. If anyone has questions, of course, raise your hand or hop on the mic and feel free to ask. Let's connect with each other. That's part of the title, part of the point of the space, supporting, building together. Love that. So thank you again for sharing. And then I will hand the mic back to Benjamin. How's it going? Still good?
Yeah, we're nearing 4 margaritas, so so far so good. World record is 5, and I'm trying to get my best to get there tonight, so we'll see. If I can make it through the 4th, then I probably will make it to the 5th. I don't know if I'll get to Brady status of 7. That's a little bit too much. So listen, I don't know if I can do that. 6 is, I might be able to surpass Montana, but reaching Brady at this point is probably a no-go, but we'll see if I power through, we might be able to. But in all seriousness, this is such a fabulous space. Thanks so much for everyone for contributing. I think it's great, Liz, that you're doing the space midpoint so that we can, it's kind of like a review of how our year is going, our progress of the year, because we can always improve and we can always do more to better ourselves. So thanks so much for hosting the space. And then Liz did also promise us that if we, for every speaker in the space, that means Liz will do a 3-minute song. So let's do a quick here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's about 6 songs. So we're nearing about 20 minutes of this singing. So thanks so much to all the speakers for joining the space. So whenever you want to sing, let's take it away, my friend.
Oh no, we're on the 4th margarita and he has jokes. I don't know anything about singing, but if either of you like to sing, you are more than welcome to sing and showcase your talents. Speaking of which, we have a lot of talented people up on the Jumbotron sharing some art, sharing their projects. If there's a link to something, that you have online related to what you're working on, you're more than welcome to share it up top as well. Would love to see it and have people check that out. And with that, we have another speaker here. He didn't put his hand up. There's a rabbit on stage. Well, he's not technically a rabbit at the moment, but inside he's a rabbit. So I'm going to just hand him the mic and check in with him. I know Victor asked if there were any founders in the building, and we actually have a rabbit founder right here. Lucky us. What's going on, Didi?
I just talked to myself the whole time.
Yeah, I thought you were ignoring us.
Yeah, me too. Hi everybody. We're gonna run that back. Hold on, give me a second. I gotta walk out and come back in. Yeah, I'm not going back. Anyways, I just sat down from walking my dog, and yeah, I guess I didn't unmute when I was speaking, but yeah, that was a late night yesterday. Had fun with a lot of people in this room, and just getting ready, painting a picture, but chilling. Got off, had some good meetings today with some other people about the Web 2 side of our, stuff coming out. So just a good day. What are you guys up to?
That sounds awesome. I heard Blue's paws walking by.
He heard dog. I swear that was his name one day.
That's cool. We are just hanging out, checking in, seeing how things are going. Mid-year check-in with everyone. And that's pretty much it. I know that you've been grinding the first half of the year, and then maybe now into this half. Do you think you're going into another chapter or still deep in that same grind?
Does the grind ever really stop in Web3?
Not if you want to be successful. That's a great question.
I think anything that's successful at the end of the day is always adaptable and transforming and can be evolved, right? So I think we have a lot of excitement ahead of us because I love to create. My in real life job is working on film sets and stuff, so I always get to create, and this gave me the opportunity to do that with amazing people from around the world. So what can come out of this, it's going to be pretty amazing.
Ooh, I love that. That was a mic drop moment. Makes a lot of sense. And Victor, I had a feeling your hand was going to go up because you're the one that mentioned a founder. So go ahead. Is there a question that you had?
Yeah. What's good? DD. Okay, the question goes like this. I got so many, but I'm gonna give just a few. I won't give a number. Yeah. First of all, when building your project, the Rabbit, right? Can you tell me the challenges you faced when you were actually building?
Huh. Challenges. That's a good question. And I'm eating peanut butter. But to answer that shortly and briefly, the challenges is trusting people would be the hardest challenge. Anything can be built in the world, but it just has to take the right people behind it.
I know, Victor, you said you had a couple questions. I'll go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Also, I have are you actually the artist behind the Rabbit, or you have an artist working for you, stuff like that?
I do. I do have an artist.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Are you full time in Web 3, or you actually combining Web 2 to Web 3?
I couldn't answer that question right now, just because I don't know. I'm everywhere.
All
Okay.
right,
Oh,
awesome.
ouch,
Oh, there's
ouch,
another
ouch.
one?
All right. Yeah. Okay. I want to also ask another question. Do you think of also backing the rabbit with a token, or you just want it to just be an NFT collection?
I don't know. We haven't thought about that part of it yet. There is going to be a token in the future, but a token, I don't know. Could be not. We're gonna find out together, though.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for the questions, Victor. Of course, if you want to keep up with the rabbits and you're not already following Didi, let's fix that. Give them a follow, follow BTFD Rabbits, and you can see everything that they're building because there's a lot happening there. And I know that you're really interested in the project and learning more, which I think is awesome. So I appreciate you always coming with some questions, making it fun, keeping it interesting. That is great. We do have another speaker that joined us, Villa Model. Thank you for joining. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. I didn't know how this space was going to turn out. It's a completely different time slot, and I am so happy that a lot of people showed up today to come hang out, check in, be honest, be vulnerable, share what they're doing. You know, it's great for me. This is an awesome Saturday night, so thank you for stopping in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for letting me up on the speaker panel here. This is my first time in this space. I was in a space with Metavision right before this one, and they had rugged their space. They were like, "Come on over here." So I was tagging along with Metavision. Shout out to Metavision. But I'm glad to kind of get acquainted with everybody.
That's awesome. Metavision is a legend. I'm so happy that they were able to join into the space. You know, that really put a smile on mine. So thank you so much. Glad you tagged along for the raid. Always good to connect with different people. And even though it's your first time, I do have to ask, would you mind sharing? How are things going? Maybe your check-in. What are you working on? Now we're looking into the second half. Do you have new goals or still working on the January goals?
Yes, I think as far as mid-year, I think it's kind of crazy to think we're already at the mid-year, and it seems like it's kind of going by fast. But then sometimes when you think about different changes that have kind of happened within the last 6 months, or barriers that kind of rise and fall, and it kind of puts that timeline back into perspective. Because in the other way, it's almost like, oh, okay, it kind of has been a minute. For me, different stuff like IRL, got a job change, and different things kind of dealing with that stuff. But I lead a solo indie music project, kind of indie rock, indie alternative, kind of like a Tame Impala. Some people have said that they can tell that I listen to Radiohead, and so there's a lot of my big influences, and so kind of trying to just keep that going, as always, trying to push more things and kind of get out there and put myself out there more. And then kind of along with the IRL job and working and stuff, kind of, I felt like pull me away from it. But I think within the next few months, I can kind of have things have leveled out to where I can kind of get back into it, because that was a big portion of my job switching and stuff, is that I wanted to be able to do more music wise in Web3 and outside Web3, just kind of all around, kind of having funding and different things to kind of put towards that effort. Not so much that it's about the job, you know what I mean? I like my job, but I love what it is that I do on the side stuff. And so I think it's going well, and there's different things that I'm kind of looking forward to pertaining to that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I absolutely understand that difficulty with the IRL and working, messing with your other grinds. I'm not sure if you share your music on X or what you're working on, but you're more than welcome to share that in the Jumbotron. I'd love to check out your music and, give it a listen. Something new is always fun because a lot of times, it's just the same thing. My YouTube plays the same 10 songs. I'm like, come on, give me something new. It's YouTube. But I think I need to throw something new into my algorithms. So feel free to share anything that you've cooked up. That would be really cool.
I'll definitely do that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks again to everyone for coming and hanging out here. I see Savage joined us. So nice to see you. And we have some other people. Kevin, Brittany. Brittany's been grinding, opened up a real storefront in Arizona. Damn, girl, living the dream. But I don't get to talk to her anymore. I think she's just too busy working. She doesn't have time for Web3 and the jukebox and Discord for me. But even though you're in the listener lounge, Brittany's sending you lots of good vibes with your store and everything that you're working on. But before we continue, I'm going to hand the mic back to Benjamin. Let's do our check-in, see what he's up to, make sure he's still standing.
Yeah, I'm still here. Not going anywhere anytime soon. I appreciate everyone for speaking and listening as per usual. Liz, I've officially entered the fourth. So I'm going to try for one more. We're going to try for one more margarita and probably call it a night. But yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think I can do any more. Otherwise, I probably will not be awake by tomorrow. So we're going to cap off at 5 and call it a night. I tried to reach Brady status of 7, but that's not going to happen. My pups need their dad, and so I need to be there for them. So with that being said, handing this back to you, Liz.
Yeah, I love that. Even if you don't want to wake up, your dog is definitely going to be like, hey, I got to go outside, got to get out of bed. I know how that goes. But I see that me calling out Brittany worked. She is up here, guys. Let's everyone say hi to Brittany. Send those positive vibes, like I said. What's going on, girl?
Hey, I couldn't just not show up after that. That was so sweet. I literally just got done making a batch of soap, so it was perfect timing. Thank you for having me. And this is a really fun space that you have. I love that you get to connect with all these different people and just really just have an open, honest, just chill space. Just everyone can come up and just share their stuff. It's super cool. This is fun. And it's not like those mega space who can sit through those anymore? But this is very cool. The vibe is very chill. It's very relaxing. It's very fun. You are such an amazing person. And I'm too busy. I'll just say that. But I'm never too busy for you. I love you so, so much. You're an amazing person, seriously, inside and out. And I'm so thankful that the Misfits brought me together with you because you're just awesome. So had to come and say that. And yeah, thanks for having me. And I just love your space. It's awesome.
Oh my God. See, this is why I don't do video spaces because I am blushing right now and I'm glad you guys can't see me. I'm so glad that you came up here. And, I have to ask a couple questions because I've seen some of your posts. You've been thinking about accepting crypto for your products, right? Are you doing that already? How's that going?
I haven't done that yet. There's a whole process that involves in my brain. I started a new job this last week, so my brain after a new job and working the storefront, working everything else, my brain cannot compute accepting crypto for my soaps at this time. It is not out of the question. It's just not in the forefront right now. So it will happen eventually, I think. I honestly, I'm not entirely sure how many people would be interested in using it. And if it's a service that I have to purchase, I need it to be validated. You know what I mean? So everything has been going very well so far. I have the storefront that's doing well. I have my website that's doing well. To accept crypto is an extra charge for me, but I need it to be validated. And when I put that post out, only 2 people said that they would consider using crypto for my soap. So I was like, I'm not I'm not sold on it. So kind of putting it on the back burner for now.
That makes sense. I think even for me, using crypto, I would probably just pay with my regular credit card or my bank card. I just wouldn't even really get involved. So if that's something that you have to go out of pocket for on top of everything else, then it makes a lot of sense. But I did want to share an update I just read. It's been a big day over at Simply Soapology. Charcoal with lavender sold out. That's awesome. Congratulations. Guys, go check out the store. A lot of these connect and chill spaces that I've done have been about health and wellness. And this is just another example of something that you can do very simple to change up in your day to day that can directly affect your health. We've done a space before on soaps and all of the chemicals and garbage in there. It's so gross when you get into it. I'm not going to, I could go on for hours about health, but I'll just say that just simple switches with natural products really make a difference. So if you're not already following Brittany, I totally recommend you check out her soaps and all that good stuff because she shares pictures. Like you're seeing it right there. It's homemade, it's real, it's natural. Why not? And it's not just soap, right? I see some skin oils too.
Yeah, I shared that because I gave it a facelift today. The recipe is still the same-ish, but I gave it a facelift with the labels. So now the labels are not made with just like standard paper. So if an oil gets dripped on it, it's gonna smudge, it'll smear, it'll get tacky, it'll be gross. So I actually updated the label to be more of an oil-proof, waterproof, smudge-proof kind of a label. So when it sits in your bathroom and you're getting ready and you're hurrying along and you're kind of using it at rapid speed, if it drips, it's not going to look funky. So I'm all about the aesthetics. And yeah, I wish I was part of that soap space that you had, honestly, because I know way too many people. And okay, we're going to go here because why not? It's a recorded space, but here we are. I know way too many people that use Dr. Squatch soap. Yeah, probably some listeners, probably a lot of people. And I did a heck of a lot of research on that. And I'm not going to say they're bad. I'm not going to say anything negative, but I'm just going to put myself out there and say that mine is better because I make the base of my soap. I'll end it there.
That is so funny. I know a lot of people that use Dr. Squatch, so it is funny that you brought up that product. You know what? We should. And again, now I'm going to do what I did before to the other people on the panel. When you have time, we will talk about it. Maybe we can do a space, not just a project spotlight with Simply Soapology, but also just kind of pointing these things out. I think that would be really helpful. It's been a while, and you guys forget, because what happens? It's the end of the week. You didn't have time to go shopping. You're like, oh man, I'm out of my product. Let me go to Walmart. Let me go to the store. Let me go to Target, and just pick up something random. Not the vibe.
Yeah, there's so the shop front that I have is actually part of it's a whole Arizona, so that's where I live and make all my stuff. And there's a whole shop. There's 4 locations. It's called Retail Therapy AZ, perfectly named, because who does not need retail therapy? And they only allow people into their shop with products that are made and based out of Arizona. So when you go to these storefronts, you are genuinely shopping 100% local and native. And there's something so powerful to that. I think there's something so beautiful about that. And I know every state really has their own special bond, like people from Montana, they are so proud of Montana. People in California, they are so Cali. You know what I mean? Everywhere they're so proud of what they have and what they produce and the people that produce within them. And Arizona is nothing shy of that derivative. We are so proud of the stuff that we have here, and to have a shop that is very special to Arizona products. Does not matter who you are, what you are. You make jewelry, you make candles, you print your own shirts, you sew your own stuffed animals, you make a candle in a beer bottle. I don't care what you do. If it's based out of that state and you're in this shop, it's just that much more special. So I'm super big into supporting local, supporting small, supporting family. And yeah, I have subscriptions. If you want soaps delivered to you every 3 months, I got you. If you want some oils, I got you every 3 months, whatever. That's what I'm all about, because I think the stuff that you put on your skin matters. And if you can see that it's on the label and you can read it and pronounce it, it's that much better, And so that's kind of where I base my whole company off of. And I would say the F word, but I can't because my kid's right there and she'll ban me. But, I'm so effing proud of my business and everything that I've done and the research. I'm so proud of what I've created, and I'm not afraid to say it.
That's awesome. That is a really good feeling, I'm sure. I could feel the smile on your face when you say that sense of accomplishment. All right, guys, you all know how that feels when you really grind and put everything into something, and now you can see it. Like, she can see her storefront. That's incredible. But this really is the alpha for today. What you put on your skin matters. That is the alpha. Take that home. Think about it. Let that kind of swirl around your head. Look in your products. Look at, your soap, everything. Like she said, do you recognize what the ingredients are? I promise you're going to be like, what is this? And then once you start Googling things, it's going to get really weird. You're going to go down that rabbit hole. And when you do, you go to her page, go to the store, check out those products. I love the fact that you said you changed the packaging, because, when you have it all out, at least for females, I have a nice, like, really big setup in my bathroom with all of my products. So when one starts looking kind of funky, I'm like, oh, this has got to go. Got to put it in the back. It just doesn't make it anymore. So that's really cool that it won't get all oily and messy. Great idea.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm proud. I'm just so proud. And let me just say one little teeny tiny bit. If anything on the packaging that you buy as far as soaps, and you probably shared it in that space, true soap is made with 3 specific ingredients. If the packaging doesn't even say soap on it, it's not true soap. That's all I gotta say. There's specific ingredients that matter that actually make soap soap. And I read about this. I want to get like a certified. I didn't know there was a certified soapologist. And I'm like, wow, yeah, that's basically my business name. I deserve this credo. I'm gonna do it. And yeah, there's 3 ingredients exclusively that make soap soap. So if you're using a deodorant bar, it's not soap.
Well, there is another mic drop. Check if your soap is really soap. We're making it really basic here. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't using soap, so Thank you for sharing that. And like I said, we should do a space talking all about this. And now that I know that you are a certified professional soapologist, I mean, wow, I could say I have an expert in my space. That's a first. I'm going to use that in the space title. I didn't even know that existed. You had to go through a program and like really learn about it.
I haven't done it yet, and I think there's only 2 programs that offer it. But yeah, there's classes basically on how to balance all of your ingredients, because if you use too much of one, it renders it, I'm not going to say toxic because that's not the right word, but technically the word is. It's unsafe. If there's too much of this, it's not safe because the ingredients don't mix properly. Everything has to have balance, right? Life should have balance. Food should be balanced. Everything in your world should be balanced, even though that's impossible. The ingredients for soap recipes need to have balance in order for them to be safe for your skin. And I researched, and the recipe that I use, it's safe for adults and kids. I found even a lot of soap companies, there's fine print on their labels that say keep away from children. I'm like, what? Why? What are you putting in there? That's not safe for kids. So there's the research is ridiculous, and I'm proud of the hours that I've spent. I'm not ashamed of staying up way too long to read up on this stuff. But yeah, it's just been amazing, and I'm gonna get that certificate because I think it's something that's gonna make me even more proud of what I do, even though I'm already proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I mean, if anyone should have it, you should. It's like your business name. It just makes sense. You're super passionate about it. It's something that you care about. So I love it. I think that is really great. Sending you, like I said, lots of love and positive vibes. And I can't wait to do our next check in and see where you're at, see how your business is thriving. I also love support local. I think that's really important. So it's cool that you're talking super local because I've just seen like a lot of made in America stores, but for Arizona to have that area just for Arizona businesses, that's cool. And there's a sense of pride there that's really important. But that's a whole other conversation too. I see we have someone else coming up here. Ooh, Dan Ryan Neff on the speaker panel. This is awesome. How are you?
Hi, Al. Hi, Benjamin. Hi, everyone. I'm doing well. It's really good to be here. I can't always, we have schedule challenges sometimes, and I can't always be in your spaces, but I'm super happy to be here.
Absolutely. It's so great seeing you, even if you're in the listener lounge. I know you have so much going on, but if you bring me along in your AirPods, it shows me just as much love. And that goes for everyone. There are Tuesdays where I'm in Coco in the listener lounge because I can't come up, but I'm still there listening and supporting. And, I love the space. Now, if you don't mind, I'd love to hear your check in halfway through the year. How are things going? Either Web3, real life, whatever you want to share.
Let's do real life. I have like my toes in the water with Web3, mostly because of the people I met here. Things are going all right in real life. It's been a super busy last couple of days with the CrowdStrike crash and all that stuff that affected me. But things are going well. I'm sort of, it's mid-year, but it's also about 1 year since I've been really active on X, and I've learned so much. I met really cool people, and a lot has changed. So right now, I kind of have a lot of different projects that I'm working on, and one of the things that I want to do is just pull them together. So like put things on one website and make it a little easier for folks to see what I do. So that's kind of where I'm at, Al. Hope I answered your question decently.
Yeah, that was a great answer. So right now you're building the brand, right? Dan Ryan Neff, and you're making a website. Is that up yet or still under construction?
Yeah, I have danryanneff.com is a website that I have in place. So so yeah, that's a way anyone can go to that and learn a little bit more about me. So and you can find that on my profile. But I have a little bit of more work that I want to do on that site itself. And you mentioned Coco. That's an ongoing focus for me, and that's something that I really love, the Tuesday spaces that I host. And like I said, I really learned so much. And like you said earlier, El, you've been there all along. It's been awesome.
Right, that's great. I just love how far it's come from the beginning. Now you're hosting all of these different topics. I really would never have imagined. Not that I boxed you in, because I know that you're willing to even do Spanish spaces. Like, you are so open-minded, you put yourself out there. But some of these really creative topics that you host now are awesome. And something special about Dan's Coco Spaces is that he switches up, the co-hosts. So like, whoever you see this week might not be there next week, and he'll bring someone in with a different viewpoint, different perspective, different skill set, and that keeps it fresh, keeps it exciting. So I think that is a really cool tool that you use.
Oh, thank you. That's part of, I think it's been a very, very much a learning process for me, largely because of that. And it's a decent amount of work to find different people every week, and then sort of kind of get a sense of what they bring to the table as leaders of a conversation. And so it causes me to study a little bit to you know represent a subject the best I can. But it's so awesome. There's a really cool people here in Spaces.
There is, there is. I know you're just like me. We love spaces. Like, I cannot hide it. I love spaces. I've met so many people and I've learned so much. I am in the listener lounge just as much as I am up, hosting. And I think that's really important too, is to sit down and just listen, see what people are talking about. Sometimes you like it and sometimes you don't, right? Don't get so invested, but just be open-minded, take it for what it is, and have a good time. You never know what you're going to learn or who you're going to meet. Like, I have so many amazing people in here that I really admire, that are out there working hard, and it makes me happy to hear you guys are doing well. It does. That's why I wanted to do this space, to check in and see how things are going. And I want to add that things aren't always perfect, right? I know right now we are talking positive. Sometimes it's hard, it's not working out, you feel like you're up against a wall. And it's cool to share that too. That's important. I don't want anyone to feel like they can only share the good stuff. Please, it is just as important when you share, like, my week sucked, it didn't go right, I'm trying to do this, it's not working. That's really important too, and you can always share that in a space, in my DMs, whatever it is. Just feel free to be honest. We've all failed, and every day isn't great. So with that, we have another hand. Keandre came back. He probably had to go take that video of his steak and whatever he was grilling, and now he's joined us. What's going on? How's dinner?
Dinner's going great. It is almost complete. I did not expect for you to get back to me that fast, but I did raise my hand in the room of unraised hands. So there was that. I didn't cook steak tonight. I have pork chops and hamburgers on the grill. You know what I'm saying? The missus, she wanted, she suggested months ago that I should switch things up. And like, I don't know if anybody in this space has been watching my videos. Maybe, maybe not. But every Saturday, I tend to get into the grilling thing because it's like after the last major hurricane that hit New Orleans, I had to hone that particular type of skill. Now, I would say that because at the time I was living in a residence that was all electric. Well, for anybody that's living in an all electric residence, I implore you to get somewhere that has access to gas. Now, I'm in New Orleans. I'm in the South. We are hurricane prone from June to November. Now, if you out west or in the Midwest or whatever, a gas stove is still very prevalent. I'd rather sit through a hurricane. This is my opinion. I'd rather sit through a hurricane than to be at a Kansas City Chief game and it's like 20 degrees outside. I'm not doing that. But at the same time, I did step away to make my video or whatnot. And I recently got into CapCut. So if anybody who decides to run upon my material, I would like an accurate critique of my video editing skills. They are very primitive at this point. I will admit that. I'm talking like 5 days in type deal. And I'm indifferent about it. It's like, okay, well, it takes time for me to edit the videos. And of course, I'm a CapCut Pro member on my cell phone. And like, I'm finding all these different templates, what's trending, what ain't. I'm learning a lot right this second. But I'm doing what I know as I learn it. So if anybody here wishes to give me some type of critique or what I could do to get better, this is what spaces are for, and I appreciate that. So with that being said, I'm gonna keep it at that, and I'm back and I'm listening. Appreciate it.
All right, so I was correct. You left to take your video. We knew, but dinner sounds amazing. Even though it's not steak, I love pork chops. We call them chuletas. That is my thing. I can eat those all day. So I hope you guys have an amazing dinner. I'm sure you will. But you also had a call to action there. So if any of you play with these apps, if you want to check out his video, give him your critiques. Let him know what you think. right? He's asking for some constructive criticism. So it's not my thing, but I'm sure one of you do that and can, give him a word of advice. That would be great.
Damn, I did a whole CTA right there, and I didn't even know what that acronym meant a month ago. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
That's true. CTA. I never say it that way. I always say the long way. Call to action. I like the way it sounds, but yeah, you did. You did a CTA there, so I had to make sure everyone heard in case they got distracted with their dinners, or maybe they started drooling listening to you talk about yours. But there was one thing you said that really caught my attention, and I want to just say I'm going to put this out there. I think it caught Dan's attention too when you said you would rather deal with a hurricane than a little winter. Really?
Yes, because first of all, black ice. I got introduced that when I was stationed in Connecticut in the military. Black ice is something you can't see. It looks like a wet road. I'm gonna tell you right now. I had went to McDonald's. The ice cream machine was working. I had got a vanilla shake. Never mind, fuck the red, whatever else I had ordered. Got a vanilla shake. It is 28 degrees outside. It had snowed the night before. Most of it froze over. I was in New London, Connecticut, Groton area, right? Okay, up north. Walking through the snow, I got my boots on and everything, and I step onto the concrete, and I ended up on my back. Shake all over me. Cold shake on a cold night. Don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but spit my whole shake. My fries went one way, my burger went the next way. Lost my whole meal. So yes, I'd rather sit through a hurricane and light my meat by fire than to slip and lose my whole meal on ice that I didn't know was there. Yep.
All right, so you have a little PTSD. You have some trauma from the milkshake. I get it, but oh no, something about a hurricane just doesn't sit with me. I am not interested in any of that weather. And then Louisiana is very humid too, right? The swamps, all that. I don't think I would survive the mosquitoes. They probably eat me alive. They eat me alive in New York, so I can only imagine if I head over there. Mm-mm. Not
Well, the
for me.
well, the rent is a third of you get. Think about this: you live in New York. I am about to get an apartment that is 1,000 square feet. Now, since I work for the company that owns the apartment, it's at a discounted rate, but the average is 1052 for the standard two bed, two bathroom apartment, 1,000 square feet. Now I'm perfectly sure that that same 1,050 square feet will cost you at least 3,800 in New York in the worst neighborhood. So yeah, I'd rather sit through a hurricane than to pay 5 times the rent for a quarter of the space. Like I literally rent a room in my friend's house right now that is about a good 300 square feet. The room itself, right? That same square footage in New York will probably cost me 1,000. I pay my friend 350 a month, but it probably cost me 1,000. But like, I mean, there's trade-offs to living in the South. Like you gotta have weather either way it goes. Whether you go out to California where the weather's nice most of the time, but you got like these ridiculously high prices. A four-bedroom house that's $500,000 in California is probably no bigger than three hotel rooms. Okay. But if you get a four-bedroom house for $500,000 in New Orleans, you can have a lakeshore property for that much money. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on what it is that you're willing to trade for what it is that you don't. Because everywhere you go in the world is going to be things that you don't want. You just got to relate the cost to the things that you're willing to pay. If you get more bang for your buck, then the weather is against you. That's all I'm saying.
All right, all right. I hear you. You brought the math. You brought the math. That is true. Because when you're saying $1,000 for anything, and you said two bathrooms, they're renting places out here without even one bathroom. There's like a community bathroom. In Hey Arnold, where like the whole building all uses a bathroom on that floor. Yep, it's really like that here. It is not a joke. So two
Oh
bathrooms sounds
shit.
lovely. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, no, like too bad, too bad. And I'm a single person. I can afford it with what the company that I work for that provides a unit as a benefit. I can pay for that. I can pay for it outright, but I get a discount. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, too bad, too bad. Like the space, the amount of space that I'm about to have in New York, it's like you got to have like a white collar type job to even afford that. So I'm just like, I'm good on that because I don't, you know what I'm saying? Negative numbers just not register to me. I don't want to go outside and it's been -4 degrees and all the snow the night before it's froze over. No, I don't want to do that. I stayed further up from New York and Connecticut, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Mosquitoes don't bite me like that anyway, so I'm good.
I love it. It's so funny because the reason I brought up Dan is because he lives somewhere that's even colder than here in New York in the Midwest. And you're talking about temperatures that he would probably ride his bike in because that's what he's used to. So it's like total opposite.
Wait, what? Okay, I couldn't imagine that at all.
Yeah, just a quick question, Dan, if you don't mind. What's the coldest that you would say you'd still ride your bike in? Is there like a limit?
So I have a pretty good commute, like 30 minutes plus to work, and I do ride year round, although I do remote work now a lot more often. Um, I'm comfortable if it's above 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I've biked when it was colder than that, like maybe down to 8. But when it gets like below 0 and windy, I don't have a car, so I'll catch public transportation. But I actually really love bicycling when it's moderately cold. And where I live, there are bike paths, so you don't have to be on the road. They are plowed and they are sanded, and I put spiked studded tires on my bike. So just as a side comment, I've never been to New York City, but I was in New Orleans once, and it's a really cool, beautiful city. I mean, it was decades ago when I was there, but I loved it.
You should come back, but at the same time, use moderately cruising your bike in 20-degree weather in New Orleans. Nobody's going to work. If the weather's 20 degrees outside, that's only happened twice in the 10 years that I've been here. Nobody's going to work, bro. Like, no. And you cruise on your bike moderately in 20-degree weather. I'm good on that. Like I said, when a hurricane comes, I'll go where I need to go and I'll come back and fix whatever needs to be fixed. I'm good on that. I would take the 98-degree day with a 110-degree index with 1,000% humidity over 20 degrees in the cold. Not for me. But more power to you, Dan. Like you have these superpowers. Cause like me and Cole, we don't get along at all. Our creator might have business secrets, but like you could have kept that to himself.
Hey,
I'm good on
Keandre, hold on, bro. Did you just say you would take a 1,000% humidity? Wait. You can only take off so much clothes, right? Like at least in the cold,
that's
at least in the
true.
cold,
That's true.
you can
But
put on as many layers as you want. So I get you.
you can only fit so many
Yeah,
though, bro.
no,
You can
no,
only fit
no.
so
Wait,
many.
hold on. So I lived in Louisiana. I lived in Houston, Texas, and all that stuff during Hurricane Ike. I was a emergency responder. I did all that stuff during the hurricane, right? So I experienced that stuff, and trust me, did not like it. Galveston, Texas was 6 feet underwater before the hurricane even touched land, and then it came right up through 45 to hit Houston, and it tore up Houston. And then what the government doesn't tell you is that they blow transformers and cut off all your power. So when they cut off all your power, then what you gonna do during a hurricane? At least during like a cold weather, they don't cut off your power. Hurricane, they're gonna cut your power off. You might not be up for 2 weeks. The hurricane was ripping trees out the ground, which was ripping, coax cables and stuff for your internet out the ground. Xfinity was down, AT&T was down, all that stuff. So, what I mean? There's a lot that comes with that when you say that. So you got to think about the holistic picture, right? I've also lived stationed in Maryland. So during my active duty military time, I was stationed in Maryland. Maryland, when I lived in Maryland at Fort Meade, they had this crap going on in the DMV area called Snowmageddon. Snowmageddon, it shut down everything, and it was like 6 feet of snow. You couldn't even walk through it. So I get it on both sides, but I'd rather be stuck where I can put on layers and I can stay warm. Then I'm just so hot I can't take nothing off, and then they shut down all my power and all this stuff. I can't watch no TV. I can't do nothing. So I've seen both
I feel
extremes.
you on that.
I've been on both
I
extremes.
feel you on that. I feel you on that. The only reason why I grill now because I done had forced me to do that. You know what I'm saying? But it was also cool. Like it took a week for the power to come back on or whatnot, but it was a category 4 storm. Like the first major hurricane that I ever had to sit through. I really didn't have the option at the time to like leave to go nowhere. And so now it gave me a whole new perspective to the people that survived Katrina. Because you got to think the people that could get out did get out. But there are a lot more people that could not. And at the same time, it's like I said, you was in Maryland. I was in Connecticut when I was facing my had to do the station. My first one was Groton, Connecticut, and like it was cold as fuck. And I'm like, no,
Nah, I get it, cause so they sent me to Fort Drum, New York, right? So, but that's not the New York, like New York City. You see, it's all nice and all that stuff, right? If you ever go to Fort Drum at the tip top north of New York, past Syracuse, that is like, let's put it like this. It was so cold, and up there, that's where they train the mountain infantry, right? Mountain infantry get trained up there, and so they don't believe in wearing layers. So when we had to work out in the morning, because you work out at 4 or 5 a.m., we working out in shorts and a long sleeve, and it's damn near 10 degrees, 15 degrees. You can cut the grass with your hand. So I understand, like, yo, that the cold ain't no joke, but that humidity though, when you walk outside your house and you already sweating and you ain't move a muscle really, but one step, I'm good.
I'm cool. Hey, but look though, I'm cool with that. I did battle stations to graduate the naval boot camp. It was 9 degrees outside. October, it was Halloween the day before. 9 degrees outside. I broke a sweat and I pissed myself in the same standing. I'm not doing it, bro. I'm cool. I can take the humidity. Like I said, I'm on the opposite side. You like the cold? That's fine, my boy. For me, I'll take the heat. I ain't never had to run, have my lungs freezing because I'm running. We had to run to every building. Every building that we had to do battle stations was a mile away. Once we got done with an activity, boom, another
So
mile.
you prefer,
9 degrees
hey,
outside.
Keandre, so you prefer swamp ass?
Yep, all day long, bro. Hey, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Cause I was born in the
What
summer
the
too, though, so
hell?
that helps. At the same time, yeah. My birthday is next Saturday, so I was born in the summer. I'm not worried about that, bro. Like the heat, I'm cool with. The cold, nah, bro. Y'all can have it. But anyway, though, bro, we just had a whole exchange, and we in the whole space right now. I feel like I'm on the phone, but I am on the phone. But still, I'm just
No,
saying,
that's
bro.
awesome. I had a feeling when you said Louisiana, I was counting down. I'm looking for Creative's hand, like, where is he? Where is he? This is how I'm going to know if he's actually listening to the space or not. And then he just jumped in the conversation. So that was completely expected. But, Keandre, if that's what you prefer, I cannot say anything. We all like what we like. But here you go. You mentioned California. Here we have a true Californian. Benjamin, what are your thoughts?
So for me, California has always been known as, you get beautiful weather like year round. So you don't really ever get one way or another. Um, Now, I will say I've never experienced hurricanes in my life, which is one of the reasons why, at one point in my life, I was like, I kind of want to move to Florida just because, I have family in Texas. I'm closer to Texas if I was in Florida, but then, you kind of have to worry about that. So I was like, do I really want to go to Florida? Because certainly I ain't moving to Texas. Listen, you know how I feel about a certain team in Southeast Texas. That city, I mean, not team, that city has brought me so much nightmares, and I know for you as well, Liz. So I refuse to move to that city. So that's why I am not a big fan of Texas in general, just because they ruined everything for me. They took something away from me that I can never forgive them. That's why, listen, I love my family. Don't get me wrong, but they've tried to get me to move, and I refuse to ever move my ass to Houston just because, my family has been on my ass for the last 7 years and they won't stop. So I cannot do it. Florida maybe, right? In the next few years or so, but I don't know about the humidity because here's the thing every single year my dad drags me over to visit family and I cannot deal with 95 degrees hot and humid for 1 week straight. That's not my kind of weather quite frankly. So I am not for that. And then the other thing, okay, Creative, you brought up swamp ass. Liz, I don't know how you feel about this because it is around 11 o'clock and I'm, like I said, 5 margaritas in at this point. So when I heard that, I basically spit out the margarita because I did not anticipate that we have this conversation. So It is what it is, right? I will also say that this space is now brought to you by Swamp Ass. Once again, Swamp Ass is another proud sponsor of this space. So, Creative, thanks so much for sharing that. We appreciate the contributions. With that being said, Liz, handing this back to you.
Well, that sponsorship really took a turn, right? I was not expecting that. And thank you again, everyone that has stuck out this conversation with us. We're going on the 2-hour mark. Going to start wrapping up soon, but I know Victor has his hand up, so I do want to throw you back the mic. Oh, okay. I guess Victor maybe took a nap, fell asleep. I think it is pretty late for him, either that or he's mixing margaritas as well. Either way, Victor, I hope you are doing well. So, wow, this has been such an awesome conversation. I've been having a lot of fun. I hope each and every one of you have enjoyed your time. I love to say thank you because time is so precious, and I know a lot of us are building, and we're already doing our own spaces and our friends' spaces, our community spaces. It's like, sometimes you get an invite and you want to show up, but there's only so many hours in a day. So, anytime that you guys show up for me, just know that I appreciate it. I see each and every one of you, and it really makes a difference. I hope that you guys know that I love to support each and every one of you. Like I said before, it brings me happiness to see you succeeding and working hard. It really does matter to me. And when I can show up, I always do. I always will. That is a prerogative for me. So thank you. Support for support. That's important. That's what this platform is all about. That's why I'm here. I think that's why a lot of you are here. And I want us to keep doing this together. But before we close, we have another hand here. Om, what's going on?
No, I mean, this is my first time in the space, and I have to say I'm certainly feeling the radiant energy. I guess, should I say, spreading like a hurricane across the continent from Louisiana to the Midwest. I feel like taking a bike ride with Dan all the way to our neck of the woods here, despite the tiny cramped spaces where you turn around and you hit someone because so dense here in New York City. But hey, all kidding aside, just to kind of sort of connect the threads of some of the conversations that I heard, that I think personally for me definitely carry a lot of import. I think. I don't know, there was Benjamin who made the point around trust and checking up on your friends. And I think it's sort of interesting. We live in a world that I think had gone from the kind of the tribe and the village to now, a lot of the economy being run by oligopolies, if not monopolies. So, in as much as you enjoy going to, having your life governed by the big tech companies or any of the other noteworthy brands that everyone knows about, I think to Brittany's point, I think the best thing that we can do is to not just check up on our friends, but really be active cheerleaders for their efforts. If they're launching something, we should be the first ones to beta test it. If if they're doing a space, we should be the first to socialize it. That's what I think the spirit of bringing power back to where it belongs, right, in the community, is all about. So. And certainly that's a lot of the motivation behind the Save Away platform as well. I'm just really enthused to end the week with the spirit of unshakable optimism and cheerleading that I think I take away from the space. So thank you for that, Lizette, Benjamin, Dan, Brittany, Victor, and everyone that I had Keandra, everyone else I had the honor of listening to.
Wow, thank you, Om. That was so well said. And it really warmed my heart for someone to say that they came to this space and felt the optimism, the good vibes, the cheerleading. Like, that is so important. So thank you for saying that. It really lets me know that the message I wanted to get across, the energy, the good vibes, you felt that and you're new. So you're not just someone trying to make me feel good. It came out genuinely. So thank you. I appreciate that. And you are welcome to any of my spaces. Like I said before, I gave you a follow. I'd love to learn more about what you're working on, and let's continue supporting each other, right? Cheerleading. I love to cheerlead for each and every one of you and your goals. I want you to accomplish them. I want you to smash them. I know you mentioned Brittany, and one thing she said that was awesome. She's like, I'm so proud of myself, right? She had this goal. She accomplished it. That's the best feeling. And I want that for each and every one of us. So thank you, Om. That was great. And Benjamin, I see your hand up. So I want to thank you too, because I know it's 2 hours. I told you I wasn't going to take up your whole Saturday night, but that's usually not true. So I really appreciate you.
Hey, Les, it's no worries. It's all good. I just really wanted to add to what Om said because I think it's so true. Um, Everyone here is a team, right? And we all want each other to succeed, and I think that is the most important. It's not really a competition. I think it's really more so, you want to better yourself and you want to improve, but you also want to see your friends succeed as well. So that's kind of why this space is so magnificent. And I'm gonna keep saying it to you, Liz. In the short time that I've known you on this app, you have been the best supporter for everyone on X, and I'm certainly sure you are the biggest cheerleader for everyone IRL as well. So keep going, my friend. Keep doing your thing. You inspire me so much, and I appreciate you so much. So keep going. And no worries, you're not taking up my Saturday night at all. I'm just drinking. So we're all good. But thanks so much for hosting.
I love that. Cheers, my friend. I'm going to take a sip of my wine. I appreciate it. The kind words are great. I always say this, your space CLE was really, really impactful for me. When I lost my dog last summer, I just randomly went into your space. I was new to X. I was just so broken, and connecting with you and having that small, intimate, honest space did something really special for me. And that's where our friendship started, right? You didn't even know me. I was in the listener lounge and you were just having a good time joking around, and it built me up. And from that moment, I really realized you never know who's in your space. That's why I always shout out the listener lounge, because one of you might be going through something and you're not ready to come up here right now, or you can't speak. But I just hope that you hear something that resonates with you, or you feel a little more empowered, you feel the love, the good energy, and it helps you. Because like we said, it's not always positive. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes life does suck. That's the reality. But we come back, we build each other up, we joke around, and we do it again. So thank you, Ben. You are awesome. I know in the fall we're going to come back in harder than ever on your CLE spaces and do the thing. It's going to be great. So Creative, my friend, you have your hand up. What's going on?
Yo, nah, I put some of my experience with the snow up in the Jumbotron if you want to check it out. That's how I really got out there, you know what I mean? But yeah, I always enjoy these connecting chill spaces, man. That's why I was like so excited this morning. I was looking around for like, yo, where's it at? Where's it at? I need my coffee. I need my coffee space. But and then you told me it was, and then I looked at the time, I was like, yo, it's 6 o'clock at night. Man, I don't normally do these late night spaces now. Maybe I'm rubbing off on it a little bit. But yeah, So I enjoyed myself, man. I definitely think this was another phenomenal space. It was great to hear everybody's perspectives. Great to hear everybody's check-ins and stuff. Hear what everybody's going through and what they're working on and things of that nature, man. And it's always a good time in here. But yeah, that snow did get real though. The snow did get real. So just if anybody thinks about just moving out to the East Coast, maybe just think about that snow now. The snow. But you move to the south, you got to think about swamp ass. So just pick your poison. Just pick your poison.
Guys, I promise it's not so bad. I lived in Buffalo. I went to the University of Buffalo. It's fine. Just make sure you keep the full tank. Very important. Never go below half of a tank. Keep food in your refrigerator. And then when you have your fridge packed, you're like, oh man, I don't have room for the beer. I don't have room for the drinks. All you do, you open the door, and we just put our drinks right there on the porch. It stays cold. It's easy. It's fine. You guys know the Buffalo Bills? We're good. The whole swampy butt and all that, it's just not for me. I don't even want, I have my Lululemons. I don't think it'd be enough. I think I would still be sweating. So Creative, Keandre, you guys keep that heat. It's not for me. But thanks for sharing that. That was actually really funny to sit back and listen to two Southerners talk about the weather. It's something different. I appreciate both of you very much. You know that. And yes, when I scheduled the space for 9 p.m., you were the first person I thought of. I go, I bet Creative's going to say something about me hosting a late night space. He's going to be like, oh, I thought you don't do late night spaces. You're always complaining. Yep. So you're right. I know. I deserve it. I've been waiting for it. I'm telling you, I hit schedule space and you were in my mind. So Yeah, it's true. It's true. I always complain, guys. He does his spaces 11 p.m. EST, and I'm tired on a Thursday, so I still have to show up. And then I fall asleep, so I have to listen to the recording. But it's all good. It's worth it. We both support each other. We're building, and he has a lot that he's going to be building. Like I said, he's a great AI artist, so that's going to be really fun to see how that grows in the rest, the second half of this year. So, like I mentioned, we are closing. Brahmi, I see you did make it. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I know it's super late over there, probably around 4 a.m., but it was nice of you to show up. You hosted such a long space yourself, so you're either beat or, I don't know, halfway through the bottle of vodka. I think Rax probably passed out himself because he was already into it. But anyway, before we close, Benjamin, my amazing co-host, is there anything else you want to say? You're always great at spreading words of kindness and love.
I'll just say we appreciate everyone for coming and supporting. Thanks so much for being so supportive of Liz, because she is such a near and dear friend to my heart. So yeah, that's such a great conversation. Thanks so much to Creative for dropping all the wisdom, and thanks so much for being here. And like I'm going to keep saying this to you all. I appreciate everyone who comes and supports one another, because it means so much. Listen, like I said, one day we're going to get you to sing in a recorded space for sure.
I know that's always going to be the goal. You hadn't mentioned it for a while, so I thought I was safe, but we'll figure it out. I'll do it again for your birthday next year in a non-recorded space. That's what I can promise. But like he said, thank you all so much for being here today and sharing your experiences, your thoughts, being open, vulnerable, honest. It really means a lot, and I know it's not easy. Requesting the mic can really be daunting, especially if you're new to it. So for you to be brave and share your story with us means a lot. This space is always here for you to share, learn, for us to grow together. It's not my space, it's our space. If you see my posts, I very rarely say my space, because Connect and Chill's for all of us. And whatever you want to talk about, I'm down to talk about it. Creative held a Connect and Chill space that was 4 hours talking about basketball. I had nothing to add. I just sat there and I don't even know what I did. I think I took notes. I think I learned, because then for the rest of the season, I had things to say to people. And they're like, oh, you watch basketball? I'm like, yeah, you didn't know? Lies. I just had my notes. I always take notes. I tell you guys, the easiest thing to do in a space, bring your pen and paper. You will learn something new. I knew all the stats. He's great. If you're ever going to a basketball game or a party, hit him up. He knows all the facts, the stats, that stuff. I'm more football, baseball. That's my thing. Go Bills. So anyway, as we wrap up, let's keep supporting each other, right? Cheerleading, good vibes, checking in mentally, physically, professionally. And like Om said, don't just check in. Actually put in the work. Go a step further and support your friend, whether it is testing it out, hopping in their spaces, streaming their music. I think that's a really important thing to mention. So thanks for adding that on. And if you guys ever have spaces, I always say this, drop in my DMs. If I can't support you, I most definitely will. And even if I can't speak, I'd love to hop in the listener lounge and see what you guys have cooking. So thank you. I look forward to seeing you all in our next Connect and Chill next Saturday. I hope you guys have a great evening, or morning for some of you. Stay safe.